The reserve umpire is Terence.
So quick confirmation of those two teams. Watch out for Toner at goal defence for Northern Ireland. Trinidad and Tobago Swift in her 50th cap, and Wallace, who has stood up throughout this tournament. Much more than pride then to be decided over the next 60 minutes. 9th in the world, the prize. And it's ball in hand for Northern Ireland.
That's obstruction, goalkeeper around
Pamela
the back.
Cookie alongside me. Both these sides will be disappointed with their World Cup, but both will feel they can have the edge on the other.
Yeah, definitely. Coming into this after great performances on Thursday in their playoff games, they'll be confident. They'll both feel that they can take this one and finish their World Cup on a high.
Trinidad and Tobago centre pass. Oh, that's what you can do when you've got the threat of Wallace in the circle.
Indeed, and that's what they need to keep doing throughout this game, giving her those opportunities, because when she has that ball under the post, she very rarely misses.
Watch out for the work rate of O'Hanlon. She's gone up court. Great little pass from Toner.
Contact, wing defence. Wing attack, forward, forward.
Northern Ireland have started with Armstrong at goal shooter, the more experienced, over 100 caps for her country. We have seen Craig playing in that position for them.
Dan Ryan, the coach, going for that experience in that end. She's been through 2 World Cups, and he's tried to blend that mix of youth and experience.
Indeed, and now we see her just positioning well off that rebound and getting her own shot in.
Vantage break, wing defence. Vantage obstruction, wing attack.
McCollin at that goal attack position has plied her trade in the Super League in the UK, familiar to Celtic Dragons and to Mavericks.
Great switch there from Wallace. Uncharacteristic miss. But McCullin, as you were just talking about, who we've seen at Dragons and Mavericks, getting the rebound and putting that one on the board.
She's shared the load
yes,
this tournament.
She has, indeed, and they've really rotated that circle well together. So you can't afford to just take one out of the game, because the other one is right there ready to put those shots up.
And another off for Northern Ireland. And this one will be a tussle between them both. It will stay tight, particularly in these early stages.
Good defensive work here from Northern Ireland. Don't feed Toner. Amazing footwork to get in front and draw that contact.
Toner, one of the standout players for Northern Ireland, the Commonwealth Games last year. Really shone.
Contact, wing defence, come off the body.
Michelle Drain on the ball there. She's come back into this side. She was a little bit injured towards the start of the competition, but has really made her mark whenever she stepped onto this court.
Oh, a lovely weight with that ball too.
Fabulous pass.
Don't think that was natural.
Vantage break, goal attack.
Fancy one of those wigs later in the tournament, Pamela? By later, I mean tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
Obstruction, goal defence.
Lovely shot, McGee. Smooth action from mid-range.
Vantage obstruction, centre.
They may just have the one win to their name, Trinidad and Tobago, but they've been some contests. Tight against Uganda and Scotland with that 43-all draw.
Yeah. Love this shooter ball here. These two have played together for so long, under 16s, under 21s and senior squad, so they've got a lovely partnership that they've developed over the years. They just second sense when they play with each other.
Vantage obstruction, goal defence.
Oh, just rolls around.
Yeah. And that was key in their game against Malawi. They had enough opportunities to win it, but their shooting percentage wasn't high, and that's what caused the loss. But you've got their Armstrong on the rebound to pick it up.
Advantage offside, wing defence.
Some lovely movement.
Advantage
from
contact
Trinidad and
offside,
Tobago.
centre. Contact goalkeeper.
So different when you've got that sandwich in the middle as well, but she's a great target. They feed her well.
Yeah, to be able to take that ball when you've got two defenders tight on you is a real skill.
Just need to do a little bit more work perhaps up the other end.
Good work to hit that top of the circle from O'Hanlon. And McGee working herself round into a better shooting position. More confident in that space.
Was the Northern Ireland under-21s.
Contact wing defence, penalty.
Cooper on the slide. Not legally. Guerra. Oh, those splits go on forever.
Such a great athlete and flexibility to be able to land it and then still get up. I'll still be down there.
Wallace shares a house with Helen Housby and Nat Haythornthwaite in Australia. Be great, wouldn't it, if you need something from the kitchen? One leg in the living room, one in the kitchen. 9 minutes of this first quarter to go.
Contact, goal attack, penalty. Goal attack, beside and away.
Oh, Tona getting in and amongst it.
Yeah, that's what she's really good at in terms of she'll hassle you on the body and then just at the right time she can come off it and go for that tip, that intercept. I think she works nicely in that circle with Lawler at goalkeeper.
Often see her at that wing defence position.
But in this tournament, I preferred her at goal defence. I think she's added more pressure in that defensive end for Northern Ireland to help them pull it through.
TNT come up with it now.
Body obstruction, wing defence.
And it's almost a complete reset of where they were. This time, though, goes through. O'Hanlon, who plays most minutes on court, you'll always see her consistently high in the feeds as well.
Yeah, when she got that knock at the start of the tournament, missing that last couple of quarters, Northern Ireland really missed her, but she's such a fighter. She was back on court the next day.
Some good space being found by Trinidad and Tobago. When they're much quicker on the transition, just seems to unlock Northern Ireland.
Yeah, but struggling just at this moment just to break that transverse line, having to swing it across. Sam Wallace coming out of the circle again just to free that up.
Oh!
Lawler, amazing. Reading that like a book.
So many of these players have also experienced Gaelic football. They are tough. Gemma Lawler on the fly through.
Swift getting a hand on it, but not getting it far enough. And Armstrong, lovely shot. Look at this here from Lawler. Fabulous work on that.
And if Trinidad and Tobago are to put pressure on Northern Ireland, they will need to do it early on because this Northern Ireland team consistently pull off an intercept.
Oh, unlucky. Replay ball. You can't have control, lose control, and then pick the ball up again.
Throw in.
Tona making her thoughts known to the umpire and to everyone inside the arena and to everyone outside the arena.
Goal defence.
Yep.
Goal defence, step forward.
Feeling
Goal
that it came
defence,
off
step
of Trinidad and
forward,
Tobago,
beside.
hand or foot or body before it went off the back line.
Calm as you like from McCollum.
2 from 2 for McCullen, 100%. Sam Wallace sitting on 71%, 5 from 7.
Centre, contact.
Now another hard hit on O'Hanlon. We were saying very little
Ball girl, please.
takes her off court.
Be directed
Teammates
by
help her
players.
back on to her feet, Caroline O'Hanlon.
Hold down,
She's
you can
called
go.
time.
Yeah.
She's called time. She's going to come off the court. And
We need to remove her from the court, please. We
Yeah.
need to remove
Once
her from
time's
the
called,
injury.
you have 30 seconds
Does
to
she
leave
need
the
injury
court,
time?
unless it's a head injury where
Injury centre.
the umpire can call.
and that's what the umpire sensibly has done, seeing that O'Hanlon clearly dazed, clearly in pain. Just see.
It was her ankle.
The ankle went.
Yeah.
And she knew straight away. Another big loss then. She's a doctor as well, Caroline O'Hanlon, and very much like we saw with Layla Guscott when England lost her, that immediate knowledge that something was amiss.
Yeah. And Northern Ireland are really going to miss her. Oh, devastated for her.
So time for Dan Ryan's team to regroup. And what effect will that have on them, and what effect on Trinidad and Tobago? There's Swift.
Goal defence.
And there's Woods on at that centre position. So difficult. You've got to get straight up to the pace and the physicality of the game.
And there she is, there, straight on it. It's as if you called her name and she said, yes, I'm on it, Caroline. But just getting called for that contact.
Wish everyone would listen to me like that. Difficult for O'Hanlon. If she can come back on, she will come back on. There's no doubt about that. She plays through bruises and bumps and scrapes.
Yeah. And she's got time just in this first quarter. Depending on how bad it is, she might just be able to get it strapped up. But Trinidad and Tobago continue.
And it's McCollin again. Just putting a little run on. They found themselves behind. Maybe the throw in for them too. Just the one goal down.
Oh, unlucky there. Cooper just going offside. Great hands in that circle. Reaction play to get a tip on that ball.
Contact centre, advantage offside. Outside. Outside.
McCollin. And we're all square. 9-9 in the fight for 9th of the World Cup.
Oh, just breaking goal defence.
Daystar Swift on her 50th cap comes round on Armstrong. You can't afford to wait for the ball to come to you, in which case Armstrong just did that. You have to run onto it, otherwise you allow your defender, if they've got the run, to get those intercepts.
Daystar Swift off to the Northern Stars in the ANZ. She will take those moments, those chances.
Yes.
Feel this is only going one way, and through it goes. So just under 3.5 minutes of this first quarter, and
wow,
needed
what
that.
A take.
Needed that, Northern Ireland.
They definitely did. Straight off the centre pass. Great work from Cooper. We can see this replay here. Oh, that's what when I talk about running your feet onto the ball.
So difficult to judge the timing of the pass, where it's going, and then accelerate to make it. Perfect.
Throw in, Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland.
Green at that goal defence position as well. Just coming out a lot more out of that circle. Difficulty being Northern Ireland have a real target in there in Armstrong.
Yeah, and she holds well, which is really good. She started with a 2 on her, but she positioned herself so that the ball could go into the space away from the defender and then move just as the ball went over her head. And again here, we see this hold. Ball just needs to go into her.
Contact, keep up.
And surely they've got the confidence in what Armstrong can do. She shot at 90% in the last game against Barbados.
That's some great stats.
Advantage obstruction, wing attack.
But only effective if they can get the ball to you.
Obstruction penalty. Yes.
So Drain this time has to stand to attention, and Guerrero and Wallace coming out for it. For that feed, McCollin, beautiful ball into Wallace.
Nice, great space, great positioning from Wallace, but it was the feed in that went in so well.
Here come Northern Ireland again. Missed out on the last World Cup. Back in 2011, they finished 8th, so they can't match that this time round. McGee did well then, she was doing touching her head, rubbing her tummy, all of the above, and Armstrong puts it through.
Indeed, got a little shove on that baseline as well, but it was a lovely bounce pass round defence into Armstrong.
Approaching the last minute of this first 15. Seaman-Gull, who's should be one of those that's really tried to drive this TNT side.
Yes.
Contact on
What
the
a
fence.
take.
Big hit as
On
well.
the fence, you need to get off the body. On the other side.
Toner with the talking to.
See, there's no look pass from Wallace. Great take from McCullen. Toner knocking her as she went through.
Straight over the top. It's the Trinidad and Tobago bench trying to get a chant of defence going. Swift and co unable to keep that. And this to draw them level, just 10 seconds approaching in this first quarter. Oh, drain!
Fabulous work. Having to go back now though, but not enough time. They needed to get that ball into the circle.
Good defensive pressure at the end for Trinidad and Tobago, but it was the will and the fight of Northern Ireland in that first quarter. They were behind, came back in front, they drew up. And this is what we're expecting, so evenly matched, these two teams, and they go in just a narrow advantage to Dan Ryan's side, 13-12. The play-off for ninth then. Northern Ireland just ahead, plenty of netball to come. But you saw, didn't you, Armstrong did the old,
She knew
oops, I didn't need that.
Indeed. That ball just needed to have a little bit of a lift into it so that Desas with hands couldn't get on it, and that was a lovely play there. Armstrong on the rebound.
Just on the edge of the shot. The good news for Northern Ireland, after that heavy fall, Caroline O'Hanlon is back on. We said it would take a lot to keep her off court.
She's a warrior.
They'd probably have to remove the court to keep her off it.
Contact, goal defense, penalty. Back. More.
Changes
One step back,
for Trinidad
yes.
and Tobago. Baptiste on at that wing defence position.
Centre.
When we've seen her come on court previously, she gives her an injection of speed, energy in that mid-court.
She does indeed. She lifts it, and whether it's wing defence or goal defence, we've seen her come out with intercepts.
But at this wing defence position, when they were losing it a bit on the centre pass at least, she's now just creating that defensive wall further up court.
Yeah, she's not afraid to come out on a fly.
Vantage contact centre.
Good tracking
Vantage
ability
offside,
as
wing
well.
defense.
There she is on the ball now.
An opportunity for Trinidad
Vantage
and
contact
Tobago.
centre. Vantage obstruction goal shooter.
There's Baptiste.
Nice pressure here from Northern Ireland. They're doing a little bit of a zone,
Obstruction wing attack.
but you need everybody in play for it to work. But still trying to set it up now.
Baptiste comes through for it. Hard ball through. Still hang on to it. Hard ball, then perfect ball, then
And
beautiful
a
goal.
layup. Amazing work there from Trinidad and Tobago. McCullen starting that up. And Sam Wallace, cool as you like.
Wonderful netballer. It's almost like a semi-layup in that passage of play too, but this, the original.
Oh, lovely step. And see how she just changed up the angle so that she got to the side of the post to make that shot a little bit easier for herself.
All the skills.
Obstruction goalkeeper penalty. Goalkeeper.
Just a few of those penalties that maybe was their undoing as well in that first quarter. Allows Northern Ireland to chip back again.
Yeah, Armstrong holding well in that circle.
Goal defense.
I know we do often rave about Sammy Wallace. It's clear to see why just even in that first 15 minutes, but she in the top 3 when it comes to stats as well in Australia consistently.
Yeah, Dev, she's world class. And it has been a shame that the rest of the team haven't been able to lift to her standard. But it's growing.
It's Baptiste on O'Hanlon. You've got to be strong to take on Caroline O'Hanlon.
Throw in Northern Ireland.
And that's Good defensive work from Trinidad and Tobago around that circle edge. Just disrupting play.
Oh, just a beautiful drop through. Centre pass back. There's Baptiste, and she has changed that area up for them.
She has. Strong on the take, defensive pressure good, but also an option in attack.
Oh, how did Wallace hang on to that?
And to deliver the pass. Phenomenal.
Making her fellow attackers look good since day dot. Matching them swing for swing though, Northern Ireland.
Yeah, this is good work. Attack is strong, it's clinical. Using great angles to work that ball down the court.
Can I go early on the extra time? We've already seen Trinidad and Tobago draw up one. No, she couldn't use her hands, so she opted for her thighs.
Yeah, once you've played the ball, you can't pick it up again, as we said, so she was
love
trying.
That. I love that. What do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do?
Trying to
There's no one
protect the
coming in.
space.
Wing attack.
Just getting a little bit messy in that middle third. As we, yeah, see her, she just drops the ball, so she's trying to protect the ball, but then getting clattered.
You'd be a mess after this day after day, relentless, high-quality netball.
Yeah, oh, definitely. 60 minutes. Every single day. They've had, what, 1 day of rest?
Not saying they needed it. Guerrero, but that's when perhaps sometimes your decision-making goes awry.
Yeah, it's all about how you can keep your head when your body is telling you, I've done a lot of work, you've made me run and run for over a week.
Now we're going to adopt the crawling position.
Great take from Sammy Wallace.
Goal defence.
Just asking for a bit of a change-up just to keep things moving,
Yeah.
her side. So they were a goal behind into this quarter.
That's a obstruction goal
Just to
defence.
go goal up.
Nice. And we saw Jack start at wing defence, but she's now moved into the wing attack position. So Trinidad and Tobago mixing up their centre court a little bit.
Seen that a bit in this tournament. They've got good adaptability through court and changing those positions.
Yeah. Oh, and Baptiste there, driving hard on the edge of the circle.
She was demanding the ball back as well. Wants to be involved.
Yeah.
Keeper grab.
Again, sandwiched between two players. But McCullen's still having that confidence to put the ball in, knowing if Sam Wallace doesn't take it, she's at least going to get the contact call, which she did.
Centre pass for Trinidad and Tobago. So just this spell of pressure working. The Calypso girls at the moment. Oh! Tona sensed it, but nothing she could do about it.
So good, and that was the strength, though, of McCullen, how she was able, she looked like she was going to pass it the first time, but on the third second was when it was released.
And at the other end, just trying to force something.
Yeah, McGee just getting a little bit of a rush to the head. That ball needed to be a looped ball rather than a driving ball if she did put that in.
They love playing it around court. Guess who's there? Baptiste again.
Contact wing defence.
Cooper just getting up close and personal to Jack.
Keeper. Grab on the arm.
Northern Ireland perhaps having a little look at that. Circle the defensive end. Just in that defensive third, perhaps need to put a bit more on Trinidad and Tobago, seeing a couple of their players go over to warm up on the bikes.
Yeah, McCullen just having a little bit of a free flow in that end third. See her getting the ball, not really marked.
being made to move and work around court. Just needs to get a bit closer. Not that often do we see the long shots from Northern Ireland.
No, and that's why they're consistently using their edge players to work the ball round to finally then put the over one, leading them to the post. It's really good here from Drain and O'Hanlon just to keep being that offer on the edge of the circle for them.
That's why we see their feed so high. When you look at all the other charts that we've seen at the World Cup, they're just always in the top 5 when it comes to feeds.
Yeah.
Advantage obstruction, wing attack.
Colin just having to think about it a bit more, but good work again around the circle edge from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, really nice work there from Jack, just to give that over ball, over all the mess.
It's just gone 5 goals clear.
And Baptiste coming in this wing defence has made a big difference, hasn't she, in the...
Unsettled them.
Yes, indeed.
Young player Baptiste making her World Cup debut. She's 23 years old. Represented Trinidad and Tobago at youth level, has come up and through.
See her here, just drawing O'Hanlon into that backspace. Swift coming out.
Advantage offside, wing defence.
Ball bouncing from McGee.
Northern Ireland.
It's just a little stuttery from Northern Ireland.
Much better.
But when you've got such strength under the post as well, can't give those defenders anything, but they get the call.
Yeah.
3 bars inside.
Footwork call there. So just regrounding, she tried to pass it before she landed again, but deemed to have regrounded her landing foot.
Just under 5 minutes of this quarter remaining, and you kind of get the feeling half-time can't come quick enough for a few of these players.
Centre penalty.
All just got a little bit unnecessary.
Contact goal defence penalty. Obstruction.
Nice from McGee. Just hitting that 20 mark now, Northern Ireland.
Wing defence.
They too, their victories have been close.
Contact wing defence.
Narrow win over Barbados. And they've beaten Sri Lanka as well early on in the group stages.
McCullin just having a free flow in that attacking end.
How do you combat that?
Need to get tighter on her. Push her further off the court so that she goes where she doesn't want to go, because at the moment she's rolling that baseline and popping free.
That was much more fluid from Northern Ireland in their centre pass. But anything they can do.
Yeah, and that was McCullin again. She just lured Toner up the court, played into that backspace, and then no hands in front of her. She could feed Sam Wallace so easily.
Looked like both ends had just opened up. They gave Trinidad and Tobago a chance to regroup then, Northern Ireland.
Yeah, it's a throw-in.
Just feel they need an injection of something at the moment. Great patience again. Guerrero with it.
Oh, Toner, she read that one a mile off. Coming up the board, inexperienced there from Guerrero to play that lateral ball. Toner was all over it.
It's one thing to sense it off court, but to be able to sense and change it on court, which is what Toner was doing then, knowing when to go for that intercept, when your team needs you, just to lift everyone.
Advantage offside, wing centre.
Nice, McGee. When she comes into play, you can see how much it changes that attacking end for Northern Ireland. Just those offloads.
Very similar frustrations for both coaches, actually. They know what their teams can do, but it's just getting that consistency.
Yeah. And that's it. And
like butter wouldn't melt, Toner, then.
She's like, me? What?
No, it's a throw-in. Sorry. No. I'm just getting down the court. No.
Oh, nice. Lola just coming round. And so they need it. Good, McGee, nice. So even as she came round there, she didn't get the ball, but because she offered for it, pulls off one of the defenders. Armstrong is free under the post.
More of the same from both. Just the hot hands.
Wing attack.
So difficult. Good land now.
Find this obstruction, goal attack.
Drain and McGee.
Just forcing that one there.
Dance troupe, wasn't it? Great formation, but Trinidad and Tobago with it.
Obstruction before the jump goal defence. It's too close.
Shooting stats, if McCullum gets this, stays on 100%, 14 from 14. Trinidad have had...
Just creating a few more chances, but being clinical now. Wallace, good splits, and another. That's got to frustrate you from one end when you've got just that little bit of success that you're having, but they're just punishing you relentless the other.
Indeed, that ball when it comes down, going in so clinically. Armstrong, strong on the rebound, but you want her to get that in first time.
Bondage contact!
Another big play, another big moment. Guerrero with it this time. Baptiste, that heartbeat driving them. Northern Ireland get back, but just hot hands again. And Wallace through.
Swish. Yeah, really lovely play there from Trinidad and Tobago off that intercept.
And their centre pass. Under 25 seconds for this half. Great resistance from Northern Ireland. Last 10 seconds.
Whole time, centre contact.
Carolina Hanlon trying there, but getting a face rather than the ball.
Be impressive if they can keep them high in this circle, because you let them anywhere near the post, but that one won't count. Well, that'll be a bit more of a smile for Northern Ireland. We saw the gap open up in front of them and how much that one could have meant as well. 6 goals is a healthy lead to take into half-time. It's Trinidad and Tobago who've left Northern Ireland with something to think about. We had a burst of Relight My Fire heading into the third quarter. That's a little bit Pamela Cookie of what Northern Ireland need. Just tailed off a bit towards the end of that first half.
Yeah, indeed. And Trinidad and Tobago, they were hard on the defensive, getting that turnover and then converting it down the other end with McCullum and Wallace. McCullum getting a lot of space in that circle. Just needs to be a bit tighter on her so that she doesn't have that freedom to play.
Contact centre.
Northern Ireland 8th in the world. Trinidad and Tobago 10th. But this to decide who finishes 9th and 10th here at the World Cup.
Well held, O'Hanlon.
Vantage contact, wing defence.
Slow-mo was on that one, wasn't it? Confident.
Yeah, good start from McGee. I like the way how she just drove around the edge of the circle, demanded the ball, and was confident to go to post.
Confirmation of the changes for the teams.
Contact, goal attack.
Tone her into that wing defence position where we've seen her get quite a bit of joy at this World Cup. I'm also seeing come on Michelle McGee. As for Trinidad and Tobago, Swift, still in that goalkeeper position, real strength for them. Rhonda John Davis on, as you look through the history of netball, she's one of those that's always there and always stood up. It's her 171st cap. Ridiculous number of caps, but again, consistently just performed.
Yeah, definitely. And we see Swift there in that goalkeeper position, just getting around the body to get that lovely intercept.
I stand corrected, add another one to that, her 172nd cap. Easy to forget when you've got so many.
You know, knock off 100 of her. But yeah, such experience on Davis. I think this is her 4th or 5th World Cup as well. So she's got a lot of experience bringing into this Trinidad side.
The most cap player, coach as well.
defence.
Great take there from Armstrong under the
Release
post.
ball.
Nice. Delayed entry. O'Hanlon waited for McGee just to run in late.
It started with almost a delayed ball as well, didn't it?
Advantage contact, wing defence.
John Davis again.
Unlucky there. O'Hanlon just getting a hand on that ball, but it went off the back line.
Deep breaths from everyone.
Advantage contact offside, wing defence.
Oh, that was clever, given that she had the sandwich coming in on her. But I guess that's what 6 World Cups will do to you. Everyone wants in on the action.
Yeah.
Breaking goal defence, get over the line.
O'Hanlon.
Centre.
Tidier from Northern Ireland. Oh, but right to the back. That wasn't fortunate because that was Armstrong making sure that ended back up in the hands of the green dress.
Indeed, yeah, good positioning on that rebound. Even though she didn't get it, she made sure that McGee was able to come round after the shot and get 2 hands on it.
Next to the wing defence. Contact goal defence. Goal defence beside. Yes.
McCollin will have a go.
Swish.
Now 15 from 15 for Khalifa McCollin, 100% for her.
Great numbers.
Wallace in there in the 90%, and that's been the difference at the moment.
Yeah.
Sharing that load.
Yeah. Armstrong knocks up another one, 18 from 20. 21, sorry.
Oh, Baptiste, good movement again. And it'd been a bit stop-start, but just perhaps that drive through the middle, just setting them up.
Yeah, lovely feed there. McGee just that a little bit too short to be able to get up for those that are going into Wallace.
Advantage obstruction. Contact. Wing defence, advantage obstruction centre. Yes. Ireland.
Strong, such great contest.
Yeah. It's really tight in that circle. McGee, that's 2 now that have just hit the front of the post. Use your legs more, get a little bit of height on that shot.
She started with such confidence. Just needs to get a bit of that zip back in.
Yeah.
Because it's good hassling from Green, and Baptiste just overcooks it, but oh, that would have been pretty spectacular had that ended up in TNT hands.
It would have. Vanilla Jack at wing attack, just not quite being able to find a teammate on that.
Poetry on the netball court. Trainer McGee.
Oh, lovely feed. O'Hanlon just threading that one through. And the bench like it. We see Craig on the right. Fellow shooter.
Doesn't look like there'll be any changes for the moment, at least. Although if that keeps happening.
Definitely left all alone under the post. Great feed from McCollin to her teammate.
Just having to work a little bit harder now, Northern Ireland, in that circle.
Better height there for McGee. You just want to make sure you don't hit that front post. Use your legs. Great examples to show me there, Caroline. More knee bends.
Oh, Baptiste, she had to do something.
Way back to the line. There was nothing in front of her.
Contact, wing defence, penalty, centre third.
And this is Trinidad have struggled in the past in terms of getting that ball down through the court. You just need someone driving towards that ball.
Contact, wing
Can't have people waiting behind defenders.
Contact, obstruction, wing defence.
Nice from Jack. And Wallace sinks another one. 21 from 23. 91% for Wallace, 100% for McCollin. Phenomenal.
Kind of that's why they must be a little bit frustrated that they're playing off for 9th.
Yeah, definitely. It was so close in those other games against Zimbabwe.
With the centre.
Just missing out in terms of opportunities.
Contact. Goalkeeper.
They booked their seats early ahead of the final on Sunday. Such a regular sight. A smiling Australian at the netball.
Started upside, centre.
Ah, lovely bit of skill. Deserved to end up in TNT hands, but no, good work from Northern Ireland. And Toner starts the drive, drain on it. Quickly into that circle. Armstrong finishes it off.
Nice. Oh, wow, she just couldn't keep it in.
Vantage break, goal attack,
Now the
goal
centre
attack.
pass
You need to
with
stay
O'Hanlon.
inside.
Chance to put a couple of
Vantage
goal runs
offside,
together.
Centre. Contact goalkeeper.
Well, they've done well, Northern Ireland, going in behind at half-time. They've pulled themselves back in front on the quarter-time scores.
Contact wing defence.
33-36, now just 3 goals behind
One
Trinidad
step back,
and
wing
Tobago.
defence.
How will they react? Baptiste with the bullet ball. Space again for Wallace, and you just can't give her that.
You can't at all, and fair play to the defenders. Wallace does hold her really nicely in that circle, but you need to just keep working your feet, get round her, disrupt her positioning so that it messes with the feeders' heads. Like Daystar Swift just did there. Getting around Armstrong's hold, she can get a little tap on the ball and the contact call.
Now they build again. McCollin, oh,
Goal
tough
attack,
hit.
contact.
Tough hit. Just trying to make something happen for her side. They'll get a towel on court
Ball girl.
just to wipe up some of that sweat. They're all shaking hands.
Yeah, nice high five there, just to acknowledge it wasn't intentional.
Here, please.
Probably just thanking her because everyone gets a little break now.
Yes, especially now you just can't call time out for a little rest. You have to come off court, so any little helps.
Under 5.5 minutes of this third quarter. Playing for 9th of the Netball World Cup. Sammy Wallace. Well, she came into this tournament looking to impress again. Just looking to balance things up, though, us. There's New Zealand, who will play Australia in that final on Sunday.
Contact, goal attack, penalty.
How far are Trinidad and Tobago? We know it's 40 years ago that they won the World Cup, jointly won the World Cup. Very different competition then. And how far off those top teams are they?
Not far at all. So they lost to Uganda by 3 goals in their round 4 game.
Vantage break, wing attack.
Scotland, it was a draw as we saw in that last one, but in terms of those top 4, it is still quite a little bit of a difference. Jamaica was 43-68 against them. England was 46-72. So those are quite big margins. So quite a bit off the top 4 at the moment, but then the 5 to 8, they're pushing their way.
They might need to find some replacements, some of the real stalwarts of this side. Could possibly, though you'd never bet against anyone, would you? But could possibly make this their last World Cup. Wallace heads backwards.
Vantage offside, wing defence.
Just central to everything, every time they look for her.
Yeah, even with 2 people sandwiching between her, they still put the ball up, and Wallace will get it. Cool on the bench there.
Contact, goal defence,
Coach
goal
appreciating,
third.
even though you probably couldn't tell
In
the work that's going on in front of him.
Wesley Gomez
goal
doesn't
threat.
offer much of an expression. Just tries to let his players get on with it on court. And when you've got the experience of John Davis in there in her 6th World Cup, ridiculous.
Contact,
And
advantage,
again,
goal.
McCollin sees herself all alone.
Well, they'll need to get motoring, Northern Ireland. Just that gap opening up.
Obstruction. Hold time. Keeper that's delaying play advance and a caution.
Caution against Swift.
For delay in play. Oh, well held on the baseline. Green there. Good core stability.
To have had that little word with the umpire to Swift, to have had Northern Ireland on the attack, and then to recycle the ball, go so fluidly up the other end and sink it to one end to the other. Just TNT showing that strength on court. Rhonda John Davis, the captain, with the ball then. This time the different option, and what an option to have in McCollum.
Yeah. As we said earlier, they do share the load. McCollum's still on 100%, 17 from 17, but if Wallace isn't free, then McCollum is free, so... Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a illegal move.
Tona was insisting that was her ball, and her ball it was. Yeah. They just cut everything out around them, and Armstrong finishes.
Indeed, yeah.
What was wrong with this?
So Anela Jack, she loses possession, she dives on the ball here and tries to play it.
My tongue was firmly in my cheek when I said, what's wrong with this?
Oh, okay, I thought you really wanted me to explain
I really didn't. If you could give us a demonstration.
Okay.
Sometimes just the obvious moments, it just draws the umpire's attention, doesn't it? And then they start looking for all that off-the-body stuff, all that off-the-ball stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Contact, wing defence.
Minute and a half of this third quarter to go then.
Centre, line with me.
A healthy lead for Trinidad and Tobago.
Contact, wing defence. You're out of play, wing defence. Move aside.
Baptiste takes a step to left.
Northern Ireland struggling to get this ball through. But Jack going offside gives them an out.
Wonder if we'll see changes at quarter time. Oh, and another wipeout.
It's inside the circle. Yeah. Goalkeeper, address that contact.
Drain on the floor as well, but she gets herself up.
Inside the circle.
Just shows how much
You're out of play,
this position, get as high as you can at the World Cup means.
Yeah.
So much disappointment for both these sides that they're only playing, I say only playing out for ninth. When you look at the teams below them, Scotland, Barbados, Samoa, Fiji, Sri Lanka and Singapore, but they'll feel like they should have been higher up that table. So last few seconds then.
Oh, just getting tangled there. Big hit.
Cleaner, no, just over stretches. They got the call though. Yeah. Armstrong to add another. Umpire will allow that. The clock goes down. Well, that lead was stretched out then by Trinidad and Tobago. At one point, Northern Ireland came right back at them, but a 14-11 win in that quarter. A 35-43 overall score. Trinidad and Tobago head into the final 15 with their tails up.
Over the next quarter.
John Davis, the record breaker, with a centre pass in hand.
Advantage obstruction, goal attack. Advantage offside, wing defence.
Oh,
Contact, goal defence.
poetry in motion. How slick is that ball moving down the court in the Trinidad and Tobago hands?
Ball trying to get off court.
Goal defence.
Seen so much physicality, even it's feeling it. Heading into this final 15. 8 goals, the difference.
We see Armstrong has gone to the bench for this last quarter. Craig has come on at goal shooter.
Obstruction inside, penalty, goalkeeper.
What different option does that give Northern Ireland?
So Craig is more of a moving shooter, so they'll play a rotation with McGee. She used to be a basketball as well, so she's got that unorthodox look. Quite a few changes for Northern Ireland.
Once flirted with the England squad, qualifies through her mother for Northern Ireland. And She watches honours up the other end, and that's pretty much been the story of most sides that have felt the threat of Sammy Wallace. Watch on and admire.
So like we saw there from Craig coming out the circle, didn't see that from Armstrong. She's more of a holding shooter. That ball just too much for McGee. Needed to drop in front of Craig.
Contact centre, advantage offside.
Well, she won't beat Trinidad and Tobago on height because they're matching up in that circle at the moment. More frustration for Northern Ireland.
Good pressure, Northern Ireland. Oh, but Trinidad and Tobago, too good. And then a jack in this wing attack position, I think, has really changed things up for them. You see Guerrero.
That whole three ticking, actually.
Really nice. John Davis, Jack, and then you've got McCullen and Wallace in the back too.
Real balance to this Trinidad and Tobago side. It's John Davis.
Contact centre. Advantage obstruction, goal defence.
Using her smarts. Fake the front one, give the back space.
Now Northern Ireland, even in the early stages of this final quarter with a 10-goal gap,
Goalkeeper penalty.
just can't give away cheap ball now.
No. They started so strongly. Well, just winning the first quarter by 1.
Goal defence,
But
penalty.
from there, Trinidad and Tobago
Goal
really
defence
pushed the
recycling
button.
away.
Second by 7 goals.
Tighter in that third quarter. Both sides looked a bit leggy when they came out from that half-time cup of tea.
Yeah.
Just finding a way through every time. Wallace, though,
Centre.
back to the post.
Oh,
Obstruction,
unlucky
goalkeeper.
there from
Just one back goal attack. Yes,
McGee,
with a goalkeeper, get a
goalkeeper.
side in away.
What Wallace does really well, though, she stands in front of her keeper. So it's really difficult for them to come out and come round for the
Release the
flies.
ball, wing
And then if
attack.
that ball's just dropped nicely in front, she's already midway in the circle.
Back to 10 goals, the gap then. Tona trying to really drive, and Craig came out for it.
Contact centre, penalty.
Good wingspan on Craig as well.
Obstruction, wing defence. All
Arsenal
time,
wing attack,
wing
release the
defence.
ball.
Craig, 6
That's
foot 1.
intentional. Obstruction, you delay play.
Good
advance
strength in that
penalty.
circle. But good
Come one
footwork
step
too.
forward.
Baptiste just catching the eye of the umpire. She needs to be careful now.
Wing defence, you need to get the side behind the line. You're breaking.
John
Advantage
Davis.
Obstruction centre.
McCollin came out for it.
Obstruction, goalkeeper, just in.
Great play.
It's been a tough year for Sammy
Advantage
Wallace.
Contact,
Her
goal
father
defence, advantage
had a
causing
stroke.
contact
She spoke
centre.
passionately about what it would mean to help lift her side through, and doing it for her family. And you just see that time and time again, so consistent.
Yeah.
Oh, Craig trying to make something happen,
Throw in
but
Trinidad.
Baptiste again just in there.
She's on it, isn't she? Always there,
Trinidad
niggling away in the
throwing.
right place at the right time, getting a tip on things and winning ball
Advantage
back for her
contact, goal
team.
attack.
John Davis too, rolling back the ears.
That feed just a little bit too much for Wallace. It's good to see the strapping that was so heavy on some of the other games has come off on that right knee.
Much more freedom. Now what can Northern Ireland do? O'Hanlon
Advantage
so
offside
often
centre. Advantage
making
offside,
things
wing
happen for that
defence.
side.
Throw in. Throw in Northern Ireland.
Neve Woods at that wing attack position.
Advantage offside
Just that
centre.
change in the circle for Northern Ireland. It takes time to find your rhythm, doesn't it, though?
Yeah, it does, but in games like this, you need to come out of the blocks sharp, and they would have done a lot of training in these different combinations. But it is difficult entering a game when it's already at that such high pace. There's no amount of warm-up.
Oh, you can have your hands on the ball, but Wallace still takes it away.
Advantage obstruction,
Another
goal
lovely
defence.
lofty from McCullen into Wallace.
Third goal defence.
Swift could see that one coming though. Hallen swings it round.
Advantage of side centre. Goalkeeper obstruction penalty. Just one step back, yeah. Advantage contact, wing defence and offside.
Good gut ball.
Contact, goal defence, penalty.
Well, although that takes one off the score, Northern Ireland really need to get a crowd inside the Liverpool arena on their feet if they're to challenge this lead by Trinidad and Tobago. Approaching the halfway mark in this final quarter.
Yeah, Northern Ireland needing some key intercepts at this point.
Obstruction, goalkeeper.
So they don't want to be blown out of the game, so that takes one more person out of defence. Because especially when Khalifa McCullen is free to give those balls into Sam Wallace, it's going to land.
There's O'Hanlon again. Super League champion with Manchester Thunder.
Yeah, she just missed Craig there. Turn to the post and then offload if you need to. Great shot from McGee.
Put quite a few shots up, Emma McGee. Standing at 70%, but it is really the tail of at the other end. What Northern Ireland can change.
Yeah, as a goal attack, you're normally putting up between 20, 24 is a really, really good game. So she's hit that mark, so needing her goal shooters now to up the workload, up the rate, and get some more balls on. Shona Craig has come on 3 from 3, though, at the moment, but wants to get those numbers up.
It's also the work rate, though, of this Trinidad and Tobago team, marked by Baptiste.
On the arm wing attack.
Just always seems to be the work that they're doing off the ball in the right place.
Yeah, again, McCullen, free as a bird, just popping that baseline. So Tono's going to need to change up what she's doing, get a little bit tighter on her.
Well, that will help.
Good from the attack on defence. Better work. Shoot the ball.
Contact, wing defence, penalty.
See, I'm glad you said that, Pamela Cookie, because more often than not, you're in that position and you would put the shots up.
Contact on wing defence.
Yeah. At the very least, turn to the post and get the defenders to step up, and then you can see how far out you are and judge.
Show the post who's box.
Exactly.
There you go. Just this irritating 10-goal mark, irritating for Northern Ireland. It'll be a happy sight for Trinidad and Tobago.
Contact,
nice gut ball. McGee's getting good positioning around that edge of the circle, but
throw in Northern
missed there.
Ireland.
They get another opportunity with this throw-in.
Contact, wing defence, vantage offside, wing defence, get off the body.
When you've got Green in there at 6 foot, Daystar Swift in there at 6'3", although Craig has got the match for them, 6'1" in there, just got to get a bit more movement in that circle.
Yeah,
Contact,
definitely.
goal defence.
See if you can get the ball to do the work, move it round the edge of the circle, and then come in nice and flat, and then the ranginess of this defensive duo can't get involved.
Goal defence.
Baptiste helping out on the attack, working that line well. Swoosh.
Wallace then just looked down as all the defenders were flying around her. Have you finished yet? Wasn't it that look of that?
Literally.
When you're done,
Yeah.
I'll shoot the goal.
Exactly, and I'll score it with a swoosh.
So that was the ball heading off court
Vantage
rather
moving off, goal
than player. We
defence.
do wonder whether we will
Advantage
see any more
obstruction
changes
centre.
as we approach 4.5 minutes of this final
Off
quarter.
you, wing attack. Yes, you did. Yes.
Northern Ireland's ball.
Cooper doing well to win that one back for them.
Vantage obstruction, wing defence.
Again, just positioning.
Nice, you see, and that's what happens. Turn to post, and then you either shoot it up or your teammate pops through.
Hold time. Goal defence, please pass the ball. Goal defence. No more.
Green getting a telling off there for not releasing the ball back to the
obstruction.
centre pass, just delaying time.
Maybe sensing that Northern Ireland are just coming back into this one. Still plenty of time. 9 goals now with 4 minutes.
Wing defence, you are causing the contact, come off.
Oh, well, again, all of a sudden, it can shift.
Look down.
What options? There were earlier options on. They are swinging it round. O'Hanlon. Oh, shoot again. Shoot again.
And that's what happens when you keep going back out. You give the opposition more chance to have a go at intercepting this ball.
Advantage obstruction, goal defence.
Oh, lovely roll, Sam Wallace. Oh, beautiful. Look at this here. Great work from Green, because that ball was just going back out.
Oh!
She had time.
Does well to get that. Now have a go. Be confident and stand up. There was a wobble on the post, and still it drops through.
Indeed, yeah, she can shoot. We've seen her score. So have confidence, go to the post and put that ball up.
If nothing else, this makes it a nerve-wracking last few moments for Trinidad and Tobago. They'll need to be quick again, but almost with the speed has to come the presence of mind.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
And that's what Trinidad and Tobago have done so well, but Tona again.
Second time now, can Northern Ireland reward her for all this work she's been doing in the defensive end? Better composure and a...
But you don't mind that. You'd rather she put the shot
Oh,
up.
definitely would, definitely. But then no one was backing her up. That ball dropped loose and it was a Trinidad and Tobago player that picked it up.
You get the feeling they're all remembering this hard 9 days of World Cup netball. Just some passes at the moment not sticking. And Trinidad and Tobago,
That's obstruction, goal
a bit
defence.
more about them heading into these final few moments.
Yeah, they definitely look like the team with a little bit more fight in this, really want this. Look at, she goes up for the rebound, Craig, but no one is there to back up Woods after she tries so hard to keep that ball onto the court.
So frustrating for Northern Ireland. O'Hanlon does well. Oh, one to the face.
Goalkeeper, get off the body. Obstruction, goal defence, both.
That's what I meant.
The obstruction, both
Umpire
out.
with a clear call. Another settler. Where was this 5, 6, 7 minutes ago?
Yeah.
And now the rhythm will be disrupted again by Trinidad and Tobago. This is smart. Great work from McCollin. She's earned a little spell on the bench to watch on as her team surely ride this one out, Pamela Pickett.
Indeed, with 1:17 left on the clock, she goes off 20 from 20.
More spirit again, but no one wants to hang on to the ball. Just showing all the effort they put in. John Davis, belying her age, driving her team forward again.
Contact goalkeeper on the shooter. It's the grab round.
Yep. Hollingsworth comes on, this young shooter. Has only played 1 game so far.
Well, neither team wanted to be in this position. They thought they'd be higher up, scrapping for 7th, for 8th, but it's 9th position, and that's going to hang around the neck of Trinidad and Tobago. Just one to take the gloss off.
Goal defence, that's a caution for intimidation.
Well, the caution then. She's all right about that.
Yeah. Green will take that.
Contact, wing attack.
After her 60 minutes on court,
Wing defence,
she's
back
proved
line
irritating for those Northern
Back by the
Ireland
line.
attackers. They haven't been able to find the way through the majority of the time. Just the skill levels of this Trinidad and Tobago team. Baptiste then in front. She's brought energy since she's come on court.
Yeah, really was impressed with her since her coming on.
Last few moments, and that really is the story of this match for Northern Ireland. They have had opportunities, but it's Trinidad and Tobago as the hooter goes, the hooter sounds, Baptiste down on her knees, hugs, applause, they take it within the arena. They've taken 9th place at the Netball World Cup, and they showed the heart the desire, the skill of Sammy Wallace too, just to take them through. Northern Ireland, disappointment for them, but for Trinidad and Tobago, 9th is theirs, 57-48.
Well, Khalifa, we saw at the end there was a few hugs, an embrace all round. Your coach showed his appreciation. It was job done as far as you could have done today, and it's a 9th place finish at this World Cup. Are you pleased with where you finished?
You know, we came in here wanting to improve our ranking, probably coming 5th or 6th, but that didn't happen. Today we had to play for 9th or 10th, and I think 9th, I mean, we'll go home with that, you know?
And you were tested in that first quarter. You were one down, weren't you? But you really showed quite a lot of desire out there. Did you just want it that little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think our plan was to cut down on our error rate, our contact in their circle, and just score off of our centre passes. And I think we went out there and we did that today.
And how do you reflect on your personal World Cup and your World Cup as a group?
Personally, you know, I had 100% today, so I am really buzzing about that. You know, for me, it was just being focused and being able to play my game and do my job as a goal attack and play with Sammy, you know, just feed the balls into her. I think that was really awesome. As a group, some of the girls this is their first World Cup, so I think they really enjoyed it and they'll go home pleased.
Well played today. Well done on the 100%. We're going to have a word with your coach now. Wesley, come and see us. We saw you show your appreciation to the players out there. How do you reflect on, first of all, the game and the World Cup as a whole after finishing 9th?
Well, this was a great experience. One of our goals was to come in the first 7. I mean, we came 9th again, so we're not too unhappy with it.
How, as a group, do you take the next step? How do you go and challenge the likes of 5th, 6th, 7th in the next World Cup cycle?
Because of how our structure is in the Caribbean, the only way we could do is probably try to get players in the bigger leagues and develop them from there.
We've seen that, how much that's helped the likes of South Africa, haven't it? But what a showcase for your players over the past few weeks.
Yeah, I thought some of the younger players showed some of their talent. I'm hoping now that some of the coaches of the elite teams could pick up a couple.
Have you enjoyed your Liverpool experience personally?
Yes, I have.
It's been a great World Cup, hasn't it?
Great World Cup.
Thank you very much. We're just going to have a word with Dan Ryan now. Well, Dan, the expectations coming in were a little bit higher, but how do you reflect on the last week and a half?
Really disappointed in today. I thought, you know, we started the game relatively well and then lost the plot in the second quarter, lose at 17-10. And, you know, when you've got a team with Sammy Wallace as your goal shooter, it's hard to come back from a deficit like that. And then we're just on survival mode, trying to work really hard to get turnovers, and then obviously everything else is pressurised and it makes the job really difficult. So, yeah, tough pill to swallow, but second quarter really hurt us.
Right now it's so hard, isn't it, to really reflect on what you've done. But as a group, do you feel like you have moved forward? More players got experience at the highest level?
Yeah, look, I think there's a lot of things to be really grateful for and a lot of things that we can take away as successes in little parts. We obviously would have loved more wins on the board and probably had some opportunities at the start of the week to have a very different tournament than what we did. But we just need more match practice under pressure. I think it's so hard to come to a World Cup and you learn how to play under pressure in these situations, but we're just not match hardened enough to experience that as a group. So that's obviously a real learning experience for next time, is to have a preparation where we are really tested in a lead up. Because that's where you find out about yourselves and each other, and that's what matters. But yeah, we had lofty expectations this time around, and I thought we could do well. Definitely a top 8 finish was what we're aiming for. But it is what it is, and we need to make sure that we take the learnings from it and get it right in the next opportunity.
Got the chance now to cheer on Australia tomorrow, haven't you, Dan?
That's right.
Thanks very much. We'll see you tomorrow.